Chinese Premier Li Keqiang shared his views managing world economic growth amid uncertainty. Addressing the opening ceremony, Premier Li said though globalization faces issues such as inequality and lack of inclusion, blaming all problems on globalization itself is not the right path.
We need to follow the trend of globalization and promote free trade and trade investment, liberalization, and facilitation. We need to promote equal rights, equal opportunities, and fair rules, and improve institutional arrangements on that basis.
Premier Li said China experienced many hardships and made many sacrifices over the last 40 years of reform and opening up. But the country is going to continue the policy, opening up sectors like manufacturing and finance to foreign investment.
Restrictions on foreign investment in value-added telecommunications services will also be reduced in 2020. Foreign-funded institutions will receive national treatment in credit investigations, credit ratings, and payments, and the two-way opening of the bond market will be expanded. China will not go for competitive devaluation of its currency.
Many attending guests said they welcome China's strong support for multilateralism and cooperation.
I think there are a lot of sectors which are applicable. In particular, from the German perspective, I think we can have good opportunities in many industry sectors, but also by selling of consumer goods.
As foreign companies in China, we're very pleased to hear Premier Li Keqiang's comment on how Chinese government is creating an equal and fair business opportunities, not only for state-owned enterprises, local Chinese businesses, but also foreign invested businesses in China.
This is the 13th edition of the Summer Davos. As today's world struggles with a slowing economy, geopolitical tensions, and conflicting ideologies, this year's forum sends a strong message that China is committed to globalization and partnerships, which will help the world become a better place and have more people enjoy the technological benefits.
International voices are speaking out about the recent meeting between the presidents of China and the US. Following their talks at the G20 summit in Osaka, many agree that the dialogue laid out a genuine path for moving forward.
This is one of what the world have been looking forward to hearing. That is the resume the talks on the trade war. Even it haven't happened, but we can see the light of the bright future.
Well, from the Osaka meeting, we heard that China and United States will resume trade talks. I think it is a good development because protectionism is not the answer to today's world, which is an interconnected world. For many decades, the world has been told that free international trade is good for everyone. And now, if United States goes for protectionism, that means that we are negating all we were saying in the past 5 decades.
Some international political figures hope negotiating teams from both sides will turn the leaders' promises into reality.
It is hoped that the United States will stick to its promise after the talks. As an old Chinese saying goes, when you say it, you do it. I also hope that the United States will honor the consensus reached at this meeting and work together to promote world prosperity.
China and the US sent a positive signal which is in line with global expectations.
After a year of a tit-for-tat trade with the United States, the Chinese government reports that the country's foreign trade and investment has still maintained steady development. According to data released by the Chinese Ministry of Commerce, China's total import and export value reached around $1.8 trillion in the first 5 months of 2019, an increase of 4.1% year-on-year. During the same period, more than 15,000 foreign invested companies were newly established, and the actual use of foreign capital reached nearly $55 billion, up 3.7% year-on-year. Officials say the country is living up to its policy of working for a more diversified international market.
China has trade connections with 232 countries, and we are one of the top 3 sources for export goods for 130 of them.
Since the approval of a new foreign investment law last year, the government has been removing rules and regulations that don't stand in line with the new law, paving the way for its implementation starting in January next year. Though China is under pressure from the trade war with the U.S., the government says the country is determined to keep its door open.
No matter how the external environment changes, we must insist on doing our own things well. That is, to adhere to a high level of openness, to insist on the structural reform of supply-side economics, and promote high-quality development of foreign trade.
Officials also say the new foreign investment law will cut down the negative list for foreign companies, attempting to create a friendly business environment for more of them to invest in China.
China has increased the number of areas foreign investors can put their money into in the country. Authorities unveiled new negative lists for foreign investment, outlining which areas are off limits to foreign investors. The new lists are in 2 parts, one for pilot-free trade zones, and one for the rest of the country. The number of items on the pilot FTZ list has been reduced from 45 to 37. And on the non-FTZ list, the number drops to 40 from 48. Market access will be eased in agriculture, mining and manufacturing industries. Also released was a revised catalogue of industries that seek more foreign investment. It adds 121 new items for foreign entities to invest in. They include green, smart and high-end manufacturing, services, and industry transportation. A number of foreign companies have spoken enthusiastically about the new negative lists, which have loosened limits in many areas in terms of foreign investment.
Once you open the sector, there will be more participants, the competition will be more fierce. New ideas, technologies, and capital will be brought to China in oil mining. This will make the sector more healthy. The move is very significant for us. Our Shanghai project is in the process of equipment manufacturing and installation. If the import of components are off the negative list, it's very helpful for the timetable, cost, and efficiency.
The lists will take effect before August.
Flying trams, floating cars. Children's visions of transportation's future are a fitting complement to the real, tangible future here at the World New Energy Vehicle Congress in China's island Hainan province. In his congratulatory letter to Congress, Chinese President Xi Jinping said, China will adhere to the green, low-carbon, and sustainable development path. China is willing to cooperate with the international community to accelerate the technological innovation of NEVs and the development of related industries, making a greater contribution to building a clean and beautiful world and a global community of a shared future.
The very short answer about how China and the world can collaborate is because electric vehicles need to get very large volumes in order to become competitive with internal combustion engines.
Officials at the forum say China now has 3.5 million NEVs, more than half of the world's total inventory, and the nation aims to increase the accumulated manufacturing and sales of NEVs to 5 million units by next year.
China has to follow the path of new energy vehicles to shift from a car manufacturing powerhouse to an innovation powerhouse. In the past decade, we have invested billions of dollars in new energy vehicles to get to the current leading position in the world, so we have to continue to move fast to keep that position.
At the forum, it was unveiled that in 2018, China's car manufacturing dropped 4.2% and car sales declined 2.8%. But NEVs have become the market's saving grace, enjoying a remarkable growth of 61.7%. With China now the largest NEV market, the message from the forum suggests that China will lead the race for the foreseeable future.
As Shanghai's campaign on trash sorting is gradually implemented, residents are adopting a variety of ways to comply. Kitchen waste processors have become increasingly popular because the machines can discharge all kinds of food through sink drains. Sales of the machines are rapidly increasing.
If we compare this year's aggregate sales number with the same period in 2018, including online and offline sales, it has increased 628%, and for June alone, it has increased 991% year-on-year.
Numerous Shanghai residents also have purchased new garbage bins to sort their trash at home. There's also a new sector emerging. Shanghai's residents can order garbage recycling services online. The manager of a waste transfer station said the service has seen robust expansion. They're still struggling to make ends meet. Take waste baskets, for example. 1 ton of waste baskets market price is around 1,000 yuan, while the cost of recycling them will be over 800 yuan. The manager said the situation may improve as users become increasingly dependent on the service.